Hi, I'm Brandon Shornaby, and this is my podcast. Today we go to Sochi to take a look at our men's hockey team as they defeated the Americans and continue their quest for gold. Canadian defense was suffocated in win over U.S. men's hockey semifinal at Sochi Olympics. Appropriately, given the location, it was as though an iron curtain descended across the Team Canada blue line. Thou shalt not pass. And the Americans scorers of 20 goals in their previous 4 Olympic matches just couldn't figure out how to just do that. In the end, Carey Price delivered the goods with 31 saves and a taut 1-0 Canada win, but he had more quality chances to deal with in the various 5-minute segments this season with the Montreal Canadiens. Team Canada was quite simply suffocating. This was nothing like the 6-5 win in 72 or the 6-5 win in 87. This wasn't about Canadian firepower, but rather about Canadian commitment to details and selflessness. Team Canada has won now 3 straight games by 1 goal, 2-1 over Finland, 2-1 over Latvia, and 1-0 over the Americans, and shown a remarkable level of defense excellence along the way. The Americans may have had 31 shots, but they didn't have many high-quality chances, the kind you need to beat goalies you confront at the Olympic Games. U.S. defenseman John Carlson, the same fellow who broke our hearts at the World Juniors in Saskatchewan a couple years ago, walked into the slot the first period and forced Carey Price to make a nice glove save. And that might have been the best chance of the game for the Americans. Jamie Benn, on a redirection of a clever goal-mouth shot from Jay Molmeister, gave Canada the lead in the second. After that, it was as though there was 2 Canadian checkers to every 1 American attacker. Backside pressure at all times, and the talented U.S. struggled desperately to make clean entries into the Canadian zone against a Mike Babcock-coached team that played a nearly perfect positional game. Given the LA Kings goalie Jonathan Quick was dazzling in the American crease, and given that the Canadians couldn't come up with a second goal, that defensive effort had to be perfect. Even when Quick was pulled for an extra attacker in the final minute, the U.S. couldn't organize one clean, unobstructed scoring chance. The victory secured Canada's 25th medal of the Olympic Games, as Team Canada is guaranteed at least a silver against the Swedes on Sunday. Over the past 3 days, however, there has been gold rush for Canada, and with the Swedes going into that game without Henrik Sedin, Henrik Sederberg, Canada will be favored. Price, meanwhile, has allowed only 2 goals in the Olympics, paying back the vote of confidence the Canadian coaches staff showed it in him by giving him the number 1 job ahead of Robert Luongo, who had backstopped Canada to gold in Vancouver 4 years earlier. I'm truly blessed for where I am at. I'm truly grateful for all your support, said Price. The Canadian blue line pairs Duncan Keith, Shea Weber, Drew Doughty, Marc-Edouard Vlasic, Bouwmeester, Pietrangelo made a few puck errors, while the defensive excellence of the players like Ben Carter, Patrice Bergeron, and Jonathan Toews shone on the Canadian side. Maple Leafs winger Phil Kessel had few chances but nothing great, and was forced to take a penalty late in the diffuse a potential Chris Kunitz scoring chance. The much scrutinized combination of Kunitz and Crosby was goalless for the 5th straight game, but they, along with Bergeron, were very effective in being able to sustain pressure in the U.S. zone. The Canadian women's team, winners of gold in a historic comeback against the U.S. 24 hours earlier, left a note of encouragement in the Team Canada dressing room, and the avalanche of gold medals since Wednesday undoubtedly steeled the collective will of the Canadians that the semifinal would be a bad place to stop their Sochi tournament. This is something different. After winning gold in 2002, Canada stumbled badly in Turin. Now, after winning gold in Vancouver, there has been no stumble, although there was a Latvian scare, to be sure. Since NHL started participating in the Olympics, no country has won consecutive gold medals. Now Canada has a shot at winning back-to-back gold medals in men's hockey for the first time since the triumph in 1948 St. Moritz Games was followed by the gold in Oslo 4 years later. 6 decades have passed. Time for another back-to-backer, wouldn't you say? And that's my podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good day.